be going into that, just past somewhere soon, this little area called Masoda. And there'll be one Vaporavo stop there, and then we'll continue on to where you see the V at just above where it says Lace Museum. Here we're now entering in between those little islands where Morzorbo is. It must be very quiet and tranquil here, but even more difficult, I would think, or at least expensive. You wonder what the times were like when those buildings were built. Here I'm at the Vaporetto stop in Burano. Interesting statue, pretty park, lots of nice greenery. It'll be very lovely when the sun's shining, and maybe it will. It's trying hard. Drag, which I'll pursue, and then follow Rick Steve's idea of getting to the tower and then going to the far side of the island where it's quiet and I can see what this place is really like. We wanted some solitude to get away and do something like work on a book on your computer or something like that, where you didn't really need to be terribly connected to the outside world. This would be a lovely place, I think. No surprise that we're now entering Tourist Alley. This little island has to make its bucks if it can. It's known for lace, and it has a lace museum and probably lace factories. Much more quaint looking and compact and pretty. More color, even in the fog. Looks like they're doing some major renovation work right here, so it'll be even prettier. And in today's tourism world, this is something you have to capitalize on. Apparently they intend to. And for the restaurant, look at that lovely veranda up there when the weather's nice. The sense of being in a pretty normal, non-touristy, authentic neighborhood is very legitimate, if for no other reason than laundry. To be guaranteed that when this construction is finished, every one of these houses will be painted. So this whole neighborhood looks as bright as this lavender building here. This is just too cool. Laundry, Christmas bells. So here what they're doing is creating this canal wall, and the steel obviously is just I forget what they call it, but it keeps the water away from so they can do it, and the pumps run all the time taking the water out of there. Everything done by hand. Just a hint as to how these people live on a regular basis. Walk down a narrow corridor into this kind of mix of entranceways. Look at the colors. Look at the handiwork there with the flower. The difference between these colors and Latin America, like Valparaiso, is that those colors are bright, shocking oranges and pinks and reds. These don't seem to be quite that, although they are right here. I'm walking down here because I saw this park that looks like it opens up to the water. It just seemed like a pretty access. Pretty little house with a pretty little balcony. I'm going to turn around out here into the Mediterranean somewhere. The debris on the quay here, my guess is they get some pretty good water. Since we're now about 4 to 5 feet above water level. Look like certainly small fishing boats with net fishing, it looks like. Probably some of the gear and tackle of fishermen. Well, surfboard type thing. Guess not. Here, a small marina. Come to the end of this part of my walk. Little garden whimsy. There's the Leaning Tower that Rick Steves' book talked about. Maybe known for lace, but it certainly is involved in small commercial fishing. Although I don't know what kind of equipment this refers to. Certainly this man or this family or this business is involved in fishing. Love this color combination. That would be pretty when they repaint it. A little sense of the lean of the tower. That's a dang good lean. Particularly pretty section, at least so far as greenery, and right near the main tourist square, near the tower. Museo di Merletto, I think probably means Museum of Lace. Wandering down this canal in a little bit of an attempt to get away from any semblance of tourism other than myself and the man ahead. Somehow this reminds me of Holland, and I don't know why. I don't know anything about Holland. Little triangular court. Some kind of an interesting structure here. Has a large piece of what looks like upside down sculpture there. Lady of Fatima icon made out of tile. I like some of the color combinations here. Laundry makes a color statement. Somebody's cooking something that smells really good. Interesting because it was painted earlier, and then when they painted the building, didn't quite know what to do with it, but didn't want to cover it up, so they painted up kind of close to it. What a cute little place this is. Guessing that this might have been an early lighthouse. Some kind of a coax cable. Little street. This house is interesting because it has the elements of Byzantium. It's got design to it, so there was some money behind it. It may have been a fisher merchant's. You can see that downstairs might have been used as a warehouse, the upstairs for offices and home. But notice this little building squished in between it and the other one. Interesting window. I can't tell if it's glass or not, although I know there's glass of some sort behind it. People you see here, this is tourism. They are tourists, as I am. But for some others, such as these men right here, and the men over on the other side, those groups over there, and these men right here, this is their Sunday of chatting. They meet, and the time they meet to sit and to stand and chat with each other about all kinds of things. Old building that looks abandoned, but a pretty front entry I want to get close to. A little stroll around as I wait 20 minutes for the Vaporetto to take me back to the other island. I think takes us over to Morzobo, which is the island that we went past on the way to Burano. Back here to pick up the Vaporetto to Murano in about 5 minutes. This is the closest I might get to sun in the next few days. Stories these little island remnants could tell. Didn't see anything when I came here. Now that the sun's out, I'm not even sure where I'm at, but it's possible that that spire over there on the left is San Marco. I really don't know. You get a little more optimistic view of Murano. Still, it will not be as pretty as Burano. I think it's down there where that bridge is, that pretty church is, so I'm going to walk down there, see if I can get a nice sunny view of that pretty church. A large size sailing vessel I've seen over here. The area down there is the main tourist area. Again, it's not as dramatic as and pretty as Bruna, but certainly not as frenetic and busy as Venice. That's the church at the cemetery. It's Murano in the distance, and that's the cemetery there.